All right, good morning. It is Sunday, July 23rd. The 23rd? Let me see. Yep, July 23rd, about 10:30 in the morning. Just got over to the garage. Going to do a little bit of work. That will entail finishing up putting in this bottom A-post and getting that all welded in permanent like. You can see down here, I don't think I ever made a point of it, that that patch that I had put in extends well below the line. I kind of did that on purpose just to give me some extra metal down there. I've also got to weld in that little space in between the floor part and the and that little patch piece. But come around and do all that and get that all welded in, and then I'm gonna tack in the rest of the piece over here, and then a part that I had forgot to do a couple weeks ago or a week or so ago when I welded in the check strap bracket that was inside there. I forgot to weld up those three little spots there, so I'll take care of that. And once I get that done, it'll be time to start working my way inside to out to do the rest of the sill. So one thing I need to do is cut the little, there should be a hole in there to have some wire, to have the wire loom run. Right there you can see that's the original piece that came out. I'll use that as a template. I'm not real sure what I'm going to use to cut that hole though, so that could be a little tricky. But then I'll punch some holes in the inner sill here and get that tacked in, and like I said, just slowly work my way inside to out, and then we'll go from there. I think what I'm going to do is once I get the A-post welded in, I'm going to go ahead and tack in this angle iron here to get that inside the door jamb so I can fit up the door. So I got the door sitting over here. Got to take all the internals out of the door, otherwise they're way too heavy to be going up and down. So I'll take my chances with the flex of the door weight not being there, but I don't think it'll be too bad. So that's what I got on tap for today. All right, so a quick update. It's now right about noon, just after noon. So I got the bottom A-paste all the way in, and got some of the welds, most of the welds cleaned up. Up under here, this welding up on that lip, I had to kind of weld upside down. That was it's not a whole lot of fun, nor was it very pretty weld wise. But it's in there pretty good. I kind of came under here and did a horrible job in trying to attach that a little bit. I'm going to revisit that from the inside. But now I've got to work on this piece here, which is the center, or excuse me, the inner sill. And I also got the angle iron welded up. And that was simply, I just cut it to fit and then tacked it in the couple spots there, here and here, to get it solid. I did take some more measurements before I did that, just to make sure everything was lined up, and left the old one in, obviously, while I was welding that, just so I wouldn't get any shifting. Some more welds down there for the stuff that I got to connect the A-post to. Again, the bracket for the door. And I did take the door glass out, which wasn't really even in there in the first place very well. That changes the weight of the door quite a bit. I haven't decided if I want to take all the internals out or not. I probably should, just to clean it up. Some of it's pretty nasty, but I don't know. I'm not positive that all this stuff will come out just by unbolting things, so I got to look into that a little bit. But otherwise, moving along, and the next update, hopefully, I got to get that hole drilled in the bottom B-post in the back there that I haven't done yet. I still haven't figured out how I'm going to do that yet, and then start getting that inner sill in, and then I'll be on my way. Another quick update: I got the door on pretty easily, actually. So the upper hinge in here is absolutely shot, and I assume that it's because of the break of the door check strap. So I should have taken a quick picture before I took the door out. So yeah, I'm gonna have some gap problems there. hopefully that's not terminal. As you can see, the door moving up and down. I don't think that should be happening, but if you take this hinge on the top here, you can wiggle that back and forth pretty liberally. The bottom one hardly moves at all. So again, the door took some damage from that check strap being broken. So, but I should have a couple more, hopefully, hinges hanging around at the house up in the attic with the rest of the doors that I have for that I got 2 with the black car, and then I came with 2 extras. I don't remember if there's any hinges on that or not. Anyway, but you can see down here that the gap is not too bad. But I was a little nervous with the gaps being so bad at the top that maybe the body had flexed. And if it did, it's flexed on both sides, because I took measurements on 2 equal points on the inside of the door on the driver's side and the passenger side, and then we're literally within about 2 millimeters of each other, which is obviously not anywhere near that door gap. So I'm pretty confident that everything is still relatively aligned and that it's a door adjustment problem. I don't have any experience adjusting doors, so I could be wrong, but I know it wasn't this bad when I got the car. But we should be good. So anyway, I've got the bottom here prepped, ready for welding. I got the everything weldable primered on it back here. This little piece of quarter panel there, the rear wing bottom, I'm going to have to take off so that I can get to the inner strengthener here. That's a little tricky. You're supposed to do this from the inside out, so my plan is to put the inner piece on, tack that in, and then see how I'm going to fit up this the middle strengthener, because it's not doesn't look like it should work, but I guess it will. And then over here, hanging up and drying with the paint, is the inner sill. I got some holes in it already, using that punch tool that I have to get ready for it to weld up. There was quite a bit of rust on this thing for some reason as I got it, so that's why this is one of the gray ones, but there's a lot of bubbles. So I took all the bubbles out and got all the rust out of there, and then just hit it with primer overall. So it is 2:24. I got about another hour and 15 minutes, hour and a half here at the garage. I'm cooking some of the fish that we caught on Tuesday tonight for dinner, so we're looking forward to that. But we'll see if I can get that thing tacked in and then figure out how I'm going to do the inner sill, or the strengthener piece. So I will come back, take the door off, and get at that, and hopefully give you a quick update before I head out for the day. All right, final update for the day. Got the inner sill in. The welds are not real pretty, but they're solid. So I got the front and the back there. Man, I gotta really learn to aim this camera a little better. These several in here. The strengthener, which you can just barely see the lip of, I'll come around the other side. You can kind of see that black in there. That's the strengthener. I didn't want to weld too many of these because I didn't know how far back I'd have to slide that strengthener. I wanted to have a little bit of give in there. So the strengthener is just sitting in there right now. Got a little overlap there. Kind of matches with the original bottom A post, that it seemed like it had a little extra lip stick out, a little flange. I assume it was to overlap this. So I punched some holes in it, and I'll tack that in. And I think I'm just going to split the difference between a little bit of overhang on the top and a little bit of overhang on the bottom. I got a little bit of banging to do back here. Obviously, that's quite a bit of flex. And then I'm going to have to take this piece off in here. Try to come to about here. I want to save this flange part, because the one that I cut out of the black car, I didn't save it, or I didn't recognize I needed to save it. I'm not sure which, but obviously I need to do repairs in there. So anyway, I'm going to cut up to about here, I think, just enough the flange you can get to from behind here, but I'll have to do that to be able to push the flange onto the bottom of the B post. But that's about it. So not too bad. It's 3:37, so obviously several hours of work, but I'm happy with how it went. And as long as as long as I can get that outer sill in and not give me too much grief, which I have a feeling it might, it'll be much better obviously than it is. So learn the lesson on the weld through primer, that really either need to not use that anywhere near the welding that I'm doing, or clean it off a lot better, because it pops and crackles and everything and I can't get a clean weld. Obviously I misunderstood what weld through primer meant, because I thought you could weld through it, but I didn't. Maybe that's not, maybe I miss, maybe that's not the point. Anyway, time to go home and eat some fish. Cheers.